Hey everyone, my name is Nate and I'm a technical writer at Moov, and in this video I'm going to be giving you a quick demo of our ACH command line tool, and it's part of our open source ACH project. We're going to cover how to get the tool running and then test it out with a few sample ACH files. If you don't know already, ACH is an electronic bank-to-bank payment system in the US, and it's used for a ton of different payment types, from web transactions to bill payments to direct deposits. And basically what our command line utility does is parses ACH files and outputs their contents in a very human-readable format. And if you've ever worked with raw ACH files, you'll know that the format's pretty difficult to read, so our tool can really come in handy. I've already pulled the ACH project files, and you can see the repo on screen right now. If we scroll down to the README, we have a small section on the command line tool. And as you'll notice, this is just a really small piece of the full project, so I definitely encourage you to check out the whole thing if you're interested. But for this video, we're just going to focus on the command line. Let's switch over to a terminal and get started. The first thing that we have to do is generate the executable. One way to do this, if you have Go installed on your system, is to type in go build, and then the path is going to be cmd ACH CLI. That's going to get you this ACH CLI file up here. And one more way to get this executable is to go over to our repo. Near the top, click on the latest release, and then if we scroll down, you're going to see these three ACH CLI files. So just get the one depending on your operating system. Darwin is for Mac, we have Linux, and then one for Windows. Since I'm on Linux, we can get this, and it's going to function the same way as this ACH CLI file right up here. Now that we have the executable, we can test it out on some sample files. And if we go over to this window, you can see that we have a bunch of sample files under the test data directory of our project. We have both valid and invalid files and a lot of different ACH entry types too. I want to start off with this PPD mixed debit credit file. And as you can see, this raw format is pretty difficult to look at. It's hard to see where fields start and end. You can kind of make out that we have three entries, one debit and two credits, and you see some bank info up here and PPD, but overall it's hard to make out where the fields are. So our tool is going to really help us out with that, and let's test it out. So on the terminal, let's type in ACH CLI, and the path is going to be test data, and our file name. And this is our output. It's a lot easier to read, and I can break this down a little bit. Our first line is our file header, followed by the batch header. We have three entries. Since this is mixed debits and credits, we have one debit entry, two credit entries, and then our batch control and file control. So this is the general shell structure that every ACH file is going to have. You could have more info like addenda info, and of course more batches and entries, but overall this is kind of what it's going to look like. We can also try out a different type of file, a COR entry, and let's just type that in. If we look at the raw file, you can see that it's pretty messy still. So if we plug it in, you're going to notice that we have an addenda line also, and I just want to show that our tool will parse and display any addenda information as well. I want to show you one more example, and that's an invalid file. So we can just plug it in, and it's called POS invalid entry detail. Now you're going to notice that we have a warning, and it's basically saying that something's wrong with the entry detail, and as a result it's not going to output it. Now this is really useful if you have an invalid ACH file but you don't know exactly what the problem is. So you can just run it with our tool. It's going to give you a parsing error, and then that's going to help you pinpoint your issue. One more cool thing that we have is a mask flag, and this is optional, but if we plug this in, it's going to partially mask our account numbers. And again, this is a really quick way to just mask sensitive info, and we have plans to have more options like this in the future. One last thing that I want to show you is that we can actually run this on multiple files all in one go. So if we bring back our COR entry, you're going to see that it's first going to cover the PPD one and then immediately describe the COR example. So that's about it for this tool. It's very straightforward, but I thought it'd be cool to make a quick video. If you have any questions, just leave them down below in the comments, and also feel free to drop into our Slack channel We have a lot of helpful discussion on there, so there's going to be a link to that in the description below too. So thanks for checking out Moov and our ACH project, and I hope this video was useful for you.